Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, the Black Business School. And I want to hop into the Black Financial Channel real quick to talk to you guys about some stuff that I've seen in terms of where the economy is and our current economic situation. I'm reading an article here. This is in a CNBC. And basically, it says that the economic data is actually worse than Wall Street imagined. And everybody kind of knew that the economy is going to be in bad shape because of the all the shutdowns and everything. I mean, you can't have an economy if nobody's working and no businesses are opening and nobody's buying anything. And so what they're finding is that the data is actually worse than they thought. According to this article, it says consumer and manufacturing reports from March showed the hit to the economy from the coronavirus was even swifter and deeper in the early weeks of the shutdown than expected. March retail sales fell 8.7%, the most ever in government data. And New York regional manufacturing activity hit an all-time low, declining a shocking 78.2%. So New York regional manufacturing activity dropped by 78%. Let's see here. Industrial production declined 5.4%. Manufacturing was down 6.3%, a record reflecting the 28% decline in auto production as plants shut down. The economic report showed the double whammy of state shutdowns in mid-March on two pillars of the economy, the consumer and business. Both reports were even more dire than expected and foreshadowed even worse declines in April's activity, with state shutdowns affecting areas responsible for more than 90% of the economy. March retail sales fell 8.7%, a record drop, with the only sign of activity at grocery and beverage stores, which saw sales grow by 25.6%. Economists expected an 8% decline in monthly sales. The consumer accounts for 70% of the economy. So the consumer, which is actually the backdrop of the economy, and consumer spending is the backup. That's what keeps the economy going. The consumer is just, financially dead. The consumer is not participating. And so in a way, you're talking about, what if the Chicago Bulls got rid of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen at the same time and then said, we're going to take the next three best players on the team and get rid of them too. You don't have a team anymore, right? So we're pretty much gutted as an economy. You guys know my position. I kind of feel like some of this, I think the media should be held accountable for scare tactics, in this whole situation. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. We know it's real. I've talked to you guys about this several times, but, it's about to really get real when people can't feed their kids. I'll tell you what, if you give me a choice between give me a yes or no if you even agree with this, understand what I'm saying. I would be willing to go out and put on a mask and some gloves and carry my hand sanitizer if that means I got to feed my kids. Am I crazy here? Or, do you agree with me? Like, if I got to feed my kids, I'm willing to risk a virus that only affects 1 in 800 people and only kills 1 in out of every maybe 25,000 people. I'm willing to take that chance. I'd be willing to take I'd be willing to risk, a 10% chance that I could die that day if it means feeding my family. So I think it's kind of crazy. According to Chris Rupke, chief financial economist at MUFG Union Bank, he says the economy is clearly in ruins here. Nobody's buying cars, down 25.6%. Nobody's buying furniture, down 26.8%. And eating and drinking places were down 26.5%. The economic decline, which started in the first quarter, is expected to reach its trough, meaning the very bottom, in the second quarter. Economists expect an unprecedented drop of more than 30% in GDP for the second quarter. JP Morgan economists expect a 40% decline in the second quarter, on top of a 10% drop in the first quarter. But now already negative first quarter GDP forecasts may also worsen, showing the economy began contracting at a rapid pace when businesses closed down, states ordered residents to stay home, and President Trump told Americans to stay out of restaurants and practice safe distancing. Quote, overall, today's manufacturing numbers indicate an expected slowing in activity, but slightly earlier and more widespread than previously thought, noted Citigroup economists. The economist noted the depth of the decline in apparel manufacturing of 16.5% and furniture down 10% were surprising. So, a lot of economics, a lot of, as you guys know, because, if you've been around, that a lot of the economy, a lot of the stock market especially is driven by X. So what they're basically saying is that, look, we knew it was going to be bad, but it's worse. It's worse than what we thought. Like, I thought we were going to the doctor to deal with flu, and it turns out we're dealing with AIDS and pneumonia, right? We're dealing with suppression. We're not headed into something that, hasn't been this bad since the 1930s. We're headed into something that they never saw in the 1930s. I'm still trying to figure out what they're thinking in terms of shutting everything down. I think you can open the economy back up in sections, but, I don't know. I talked to a friend in New York today who said something that's really interesting. Tell me, if you're in New York, maybe you can confirm this. She said they were telling the essential workers to show up to work. But the problem is that the train service is shut down pretty much. I mean, a big chunk of it has. And they said that because the train service is offering fewer trains, that all these essential workers are crammed into these trains, that they're packed in trying to get to these essential jobs. So if one of them, has the virus, then they're going to give it to everybody. But I don't know, if that's true. I don't live in New York. So let me know if that's something you guys have seen. I'm going to go. I got to bounce out, but do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Also, I'll give you a stock pick of the week. A stock that I bought this morning was Tesla. Tesla is actually being predicted as a company that's going to benefit from what they call long-term sector growth, meaning that sector is expected to really skyrocket based on the research I've been doing. So I bought some Tesla. If you'd like to know what other stocks I'm buying, feel free to try out my Black Stock Market Program. The first 30 days cost you $1. You can go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com, THE. That's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. And also, don't forget, you can go to firstsharestock.com to learn to buy your first share stock. So feel free to check out some of those resources. I think now is a good time to be an investor. Unfortunately, it's not a good time to be a worker. These jobs are going to disappear. And that's one of the reasons why, in order to save people's sanity and to save people's lives, ultimately, I believe the economy needs to be opened back up in a careful, measured way. Just protect everybody, have your protection on. It's like sex. We have diseases out there that can kill you for having sex. But people didn't stop having sex. They just started using protection. And, so I think that there are things out there that can harm us, but that doesn't mean we stop living. We just use protection. So if you want to know my position, that's my position. I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to say it over and over again for anybody listening, because I'm going to tell you like this. You cannot continue the way things are right now. You cannot continue to have this happen for the next 6 months. People are going to go crazy. People are going to be broke. You're giving people $1,200 check and saying, oh, here, we want you to live off this for the next 6 months. That don't even make no damn sense. So anyway, I'm about to go, guys. Please hit the thumbs up button before you go, and make sure you subscribe to theblackfinancialchannel.com. I got to run to a meeting, so I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Peace.